Every once in a while, something comes along in the health world that makes even the experts stop and say, how did I miss that? And that's exactly what happened in this story. A top urologist, someone with decades of experience studying male wellness, admitted something surprising. He said he never realized a simple, everyday food could dramatically support circulation, energy, and overall male vitality in a way he didn't expect. Not a supplement, not a medication, something sitting right there in the produce section. And when he shared this, it started a chain reaction. Patients began asking questions. People began trying it. Other doctors started looking at the research again. And suddenly, something so simple, something most people walk right past in the grocery store without a second thought, became one of the most talked about foods for supporting healthy blood flow. And if you're a man, you already know how important that is. Your circulation is everything. When it's strong, you feel strong. When it's sluggish, everything feels more difficult, from energy to stamina to confidence. So today, we're going to dive deep into exactly what this food is, why it works, how it supports natural nitric oxide production, and most importantly, how you can start using it in your daily routine to support healthy function throughout your entire body. And don't worry, we're keeping this clean, science-based, and practical. No uncomfortable language, just facts, clarity, and real strategies that thousands of men are already using. Before we get into the food itself, I want to paint a picture of what the urologist described. He said men often come into his office thinking something is broken with their bodies when in reality the root cause is incredibly simple: circulation. As men age, everyday habits like stress, processed food, lack of movement, poor sleep, sitting too long, slowly reduce nitric oxide levels. Nitric oxide is the molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax. When it's high, your vessels open, blood flows easily, oxygen moves freely, and your body feels energized. When it's low, those vessels stiffen, narrow, and restrict flow. And that right there affects everything: your brain, your heart, your muscles, and yes, your performance as a man. But he said the interesting thing is that most men focus on the symptoms, not the cause. They try supplements, they look for the newest thing, they get frustrated when nothing changes. Meanwhile, the problem sitting underneath everything is simply poor blood flow. And what shocked him was how strongly one food could help improve that flow. He even said he had overlooked it for years because it seemed too basic, too ordinary, too simple to be powerful. That food was beets. Now, if you've never liked beets, stay with me, because once you understand what they do inside your body, you'll start seeing them differently. Not as a root vegetable you'd never choose, but as one of the strongest natural ways to boost nitric oxide and support circulation from the inside out. Beets are loaded with natural nitrates. These aren't the harmful nitrates people worry about in processed meats. These are plant nitrates. Clean, safe, and incredibly effective. Your body takes these natural nitrates and converts them into nitric oxide, the molecule that signals your blood vessels to relax and widen. Imagine a tight, narrow hose that barely lets water through. That's poor circulation. Now imagine that hose widening, softening, expanding. That's what nitric oxide does for your blood vessels. And the urologist explained that many men struggle not because of age, but because their nitric oxide levels are simply too low. That one molecule can determine whether your circulation feels strong or sluggish. And when you increase it naturally through foods like beets, you support healthy flow throughout your body. He even shared that when he began recommending beet juice or roasted beets to patients, many reported better morning energy, improved stamina during the day, and overall better performance. Not because beets contain some magic ingredient, but because the blood vessels were finally getting what they needed to function properly. Now, imagine that for a moment. All your life you've been told the answers lie in complex systems, hard routines, or expensive options. And suddenly, something as basic as a vegetable can actually support one of the most important systems in your body. That's why this caught so much attention. But beets don't work alone. They support a process your body already uses: nitric oxide production. And nitric oxide itself is one of the most researched molecules in cardiovascular health. Athletes use it. Cardiologists talk about it. And now urologists are sounding the alarm on how crucial it is for men's wellness. And here's something fascinating. Nitric oxide levels naturally decline with age. By the time a man reaches 40, he may be producing only half of what he made in his 20s. By 60, those levels can be even lower. But that decline isn't permanent. You can boost nitric oxide at any age through diet and lifestyle, and beets happen to be one of the most efficient nitric oxide boosting foods on the planet. Now, let's shift the conversation to something the urologist said that really stuck with me. He said most of the challenges men experience don't start with a single event. They start with small things added up over time. Poor sleep, dehydration, sitting too long, eating foods low in nutrients, constant stress. Each one chips away at your nitric oxide production. Each one makes circulation a little more sluggish. And because it happens gradually, men don't notice the decline happening. They only notice the difference when something finally forces them to pay attention. But here's the good news. The same way circulation can decline slowly, it can also improve slowly. And that improvement can start with something as simple as adding beets to your daily routine. Let's go deeper into how beets actually work inside the body. When you eat them, the natural nitrates travel through your digestive system and convert first into nitrites. Then in your bloodstream, your body converts those nitrites into nitric oxide. This process happens quickly, often within hours. That's why some people notice better stamina or brain clarity the same day they drink beet juice. And because nitric oxide helps widen blood vessels, oxygen delivery increases. When oxygen delivery increases, your muscles feel more alive, your brain feels sharper, and your energy feels more stable. Think about athletes who drink beet juice before competition. They do it for endurance. Not because beets give them sugar or caffeine, but because they give the body something even more powerful, better oxygen transport. And if oxygen delivery helps an athlete last longer in competition, imagine what it does for your everyday life, your energy, your clarity, your strength, your performance. Now, if you don't like the taste of beets, don't worry. Most men don't when they first try them. But the urologist actually gave some practical tips. Oh, help. He said the key is combining beets with flavors that naturally balance them. For example, blend raw beets with apple, lemon, and ginger. Roast beets with olive oil and a little sea salt. Mix diced beets into salads with citrus dressing. Add a small amount of beet powder to a smoothie. You don't need a large dose. Even half a cup of beet juice or a small roasted beet can support nitric oxide levels for hours. And here's another interesting fact. Beet greens, the leafy part most people throw away, are also rich in nutrients that support circulation. So if you're buying whole beets, you're getting double the benefit. Now let me tell you something that will make you appreciate beets even more. This isn't just about male vitality. When you support nitric oxide and circulation, you're supporting your entire cardiovascular system. That means your heart benefits, your blood pressure benefits, your energy benefits, your brain benefits. Remember, your brain uses about 20% of all the oxygen in your body. The better your circulation, the better your brain performs. And men often report not only increased energy, but sharper thinking, better focus, and improved motivation when they improve nitric oxide levels. That alone makes this food worth trying. But let's go even deeper. The urologist spoke about inflammation, not the kind you feel as pain, but silent inflammation inside your vessels. Over time, sugar, stress, unhealthy oils, and poor sleep cause the inner lining of your blood vessels to become irritated. When that lining becomes stiff, nitric oxide doesn't work as well. But here's the good news. Beets contain antioxidants like betalains, which help calm that inflammation. That means your vessels not only get more nitric oxide, they become better at responding to it. This is why so many men feel a noticeable difference after a few weeks. Not overnight, but consistently. Just like your body didn't decline instantly, it doesn't rebuild instantly either. But when you give it the right fuel, nitrates, antioxidants, minerals, and hydrating nutrients, the changes start adding up. Let me share something else the urologist said. He explained that many men underestimate the role of diet in male performance. They assume food affects weight, energy, maybe blood pressure, but not circulation in the areas that matter most to them. But nutritionally speaking, everything ties back to blood flow. If circulation is strong, oxygen is strong. If oxygen is strong, performance is strong. From your brain to your muscles to the rest of your body. So adding a food like beets isn't about replacing treatment. It's about giving your body the resources it naturally uses to maintain strong circulation. Now, let's talk about something men rarely think about, the microbiome and nitric oxide. Researchers now know that the bacteria in your mouth play a huge role in converting nitrates to nitrites. This is the first step in producing nitric oxide. But here's the surprising part. Many mouthwashes wipe out the bacteria responsible for this conversion. That means even if you eat nitrate-rich foods, your body has a harder time turning them into nitric oxide if the mouth bacteria aren't there to help. So the urologist explains something extremely important. Avoid overusing strong antibacterial mouthwash. It may smell good, but if it wipes out your nitrate-reducing bacteria, you're unknowingly lowering your nitric oxide levels. Instead, use natural rinses or gentle oral care that supports a balanced microbiome. Now imagine pairing that with beets. You get the nitrates from the food, and your mouth bacteria help convert them, and your bloodstream converts the next step into nitric oxide. This is the natural process your body already knows how to do. Let's shift into lifestyle for a moment because the urologist emphasized something that surprised a lot of people. The foods you eat can only do so much if your habits consistently reduce nitric oxide. For example, poor sleep lowers nitric oxide. Stress lowers nitric oxide. Sitting too long lowers nitric oxide. Dehydration lowers nitric oxide. So he recommended combining beets with simple daily habits that support circulation. Here are a few examples. Drink more water, walk 20 to 30 minutes daily. Get sunlight because UV rays help your skin produce nitric oxide. Eat leafy greens along with beets for even more nitrate support. Practice deep breathing to improve oxygen delivery. When you pair a nitrate-rich food like beets with circulation-boosting habits, your body responds faster. But one point the urologist made is extremely important. You don't need perfection. You don't need to overhaul your whole lifestyle overnight. You just need small changes. A daily beet juice, a walk in the afternoon, a glass of water when you wake up. The body rewards consistency, not perfection. This is why so many men started noticing improvements, not because they changed everything instantly, but because they added a few simple habits they could actually stick with. Let's return to beets for a moment because something interesting happens when you combine them with vitamin C. When you mix beets with citrus, like lemon or orange, the vitamin C helps protect nitric oxide molecules, making them last longer in your blood. That means better, longer-lasting effects. This is why beet citrus juices taste good and perform even better. Now, I want to share something personal that the urologist said. He explained that early in his career, he viewed diet as secondary, maybe helpful but not powerful. But after decades of research, he said something shifted. He realized the human body is buoy, LT to heal, repair, and restore itself when given the right nourishment. And food plays a much bigger role than he ever understood in the beginning. So when he began recommending beets, leafy greens, hydration, simple movement, and daily circulation support, he watched men improve naturally, without complicated routines, without frustration, without the feeling of something's wrong. He said it helped restore confidence, energy, mood, and overall vitality. And that's why he wanted to tell people about it. Now, let's really expand on what improving circulation does beyond male performance. Better circulation means better oxygen delivery to your brain, so you think clearer, better nutrient delivery to your muscles, so you have more stamina, better detox support, because your blood carries waste out more efficiently, better heart performance, because your vessels are wider and more relaxed. There's even research suggesting nitric oxide plays a role in immune support. So when men improve circulation, they're not just helping one area of life, they're supporting their entire physiology. Here's something many men don't know. Nitric oxide also helps improve mitochondrial function. Mitochondria are your energy factories. They take oxygen and turn it into energy. When nitric oxide improves flow, your mitochondria function better, which explains why so many men report feeling younger, lighter, and more energetic when they boost nitric oxide. Now, I want you to imagine something. Think about your body as a city. Your blood vessels are like the streets. Your blood is the traffic. Your oxygen and nutrients are delivery trucks supplying every building. When the streets are narrow, cracked, or blocked, traffic slows down. Deliveries get delayed, the city struggles. But when the streets widen, vehicles move smoothly, supplies reach their destination, and the whole city thrives. That's exactly what nitric oxide does inside your body. And beets help your body produce more of it, naturally, safely, effectively. Now, I'm going to share practical strategies so you can start using beets in your daily routine without feeling overwhelmed. The simplest method is a half cup of beet juice in the morning. It works fast, tastes decent when mixed with citrus, and provides steady benefits throughout the day. If you don't want juice, roasted beets are great. Slice them, toss them in olive oil, roast until soft, add a little sea salt. If you prefer smoothies, blend beets with berries, lemon, and ginger. The sweetness from the fruit completely hides the beet flavor. If you want convenience, beet powder works too. Just a teaspoon added to water or a smoothie boosts your nitrate intake. If you like salads, adding diced beets gives you a nutrient-rich boost without much effort. You don't need to eat beets daily. 2 to 4 times a week is enough for most men. But consistency is the secret. Now, before we wrap up the science, there's something else I want to share, something the urologist said that deserves attention. He explained that many men feel frustrated because they assume changes in their body are permanent. They assume it's just age. But time after time, he saw men improve after making simple nutrition changes. Their energy improved, their confidence improved, their motivation returned, their circulation strengthened, their stress lowered, their sleep improved. And all of that started with something as simple as nourishing their body properly. He said the biggest barrier men face isn't biology, it's awareness. Once they understand what's going on in their body, and once they know how to support it naturally, they start seeing results. So if you're a man watching this, understand this clearly. Your body is not working against you. It's waiting for the right support. It wants to circulate better. It wants to restore nitric oxide. It wants to deliver oxygen more efficiently. And when you give it the right building blocks, like beets, it responds. Let's bring all of this together. A top urologist admitted he overlooked one of the most powerful foods for male circulation. That food is beets. They boost nitric oxide. They help relax blood vessels. They support healthy blood flow. They improve stamina, energy, and vitality. They support the heart, the brain, the muscles, and overall performance. And they do it naturally. So if you're serious about supporting your health, your energy, your confidence, and your circulation, try adding beets to your routine a few times a week. You might be surprised at how quickly your body responds. If this was valuable for you, let me know in the comments what other natural foods you want me to break down. And if you want more clear, science-based videos to support your health as a man, make sure you subscribe. There's a lot more coming your way.